another Beyond Awesome, where we talk to awesome people, talk about awesome topics. As always, Heather, my co-host, how are you today, Heather?
I'm doing great, Jason. What about you?
I'm fantastic. I got to call this out because I'm just an open book type of person. This is the third time we've tried to get this recording going with Ryan. So he does have the award of being on Beyond Awesome more than anyone.
Yes.
So thank you, Ryan. How are you doing today?
Glad to be back. Glad to be back. Love being here.
Love it. So, I really want to just know more about you, Ryan. I mean, we've heard this a couple times now, so I kind of know what you're going to say, but the people out in the world don't. So that's what this is for. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me today. I'm the Business Development Director over at PAX8. I have been at PAX8. I just celebrated 4 years 2 weeks ago. Thank you. I hope to do 4 more and 4 more after that and 4 more after that. I've been really happy. But prior to that, I'm from upstate New York. I went to school to be a teacher, ended up moving to Denver, Colorado to trade commodities, delivered packages at UPS for a little bit, and ended up at PAX8 about 4 years ago. So, you never know where you're going to end up, but thankful for where I am.
I will say PAX8 finds talent no matter where it comes from, right? And they bring people from different industries in. But I will say, Ryan, I wanted to be a teacher. And I actually went in at my first year out of high school. I worked in special ed as a TA while I went to college because I wanted to be a teacher. That didn't work out, right? But that happens. And then I worked at a hedge fund and you traded commodities. So we have a kind of a weird synergy thing going on in the background, but less about me, more about you. So what is something that maybe someone doesn't know about you?
Yeah, at PAX8, we always have to do a weird fact when we do intro. So I feel like you're teeing me up here. So let me give you my weird fact is I grew up in upstate New York. There was a place called Marineland in Ontario across the border. And one day we did a big family trip up there way prior to coronavirus and any of that. And we could do family trips. And we had about 30 aunts, uncles, cousins, and we went to Marineland. And we had a pretty wild day up there. And the craziest thing that happened, it wasn't the fact that my cousin got bucked by a reindeer. It wasn't the fact that one of my cousins got called down and got to get kissed on the cheek by a seal, but I saw an orca whale give birth that afternoon. So my weird fact is I have seen an orca whale give birth.
That's pretty cool.
I was going to say, I did not expect that. And Heather and I talk about this all the time. We don't expect most of the stuff that people say, right? It's very intriguing and it's really interesting, right? So that, I would say that's the most interesting one. I did not expect the whole left turn there. So.
I had to switch it up for my third time back,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So the last thing I'll ask you, and just as a reminder, right, Ryan, we'll have you back on. We're going to do panels and stuff like this. This is just more of an introductory call for people. But what would you say is what you enjoy working with Bitdefender? Like, what's your favorite part of that?
Yeah, I'd like the camaraderie, the partnership. I mean, we don't say clients at PAX8, we say partnership. We say it with our vendors, with our end customers. Partnership really goes a long way. I mean, I know a lot of the people there, Jason, we've worked at former companies together. We have even past that. So I would say the alignment is really strong. It's really great to be able to pick up the phone, get a hold of someone there, sales support, but heavy alignment and going back a long ways, even to when we can get together and talk golf or have a beer together. It went a long way, and I look forward to those days again.
Oh yeah, me too. I miss the trips to PAX8. It's always, whenever I walk in your office, when I first started working looking at the other office, it reminds me of like the Valley or like the startup mentality where everybody is just go, go, go. You guys aren't a startup, but you have that mentality where everybody takes pride in what they do and the excitement level. I've been there when you guys have had the East versus the West and like different product lines, and it's just amazing. I walk around, I'm like, I want this excitement every day. I have to bring it myself because I'm sitting by myself. So I do miss that about PAX8 very, very much. I really enjoy working with you guys. You guys look at the business very similar to the way we do. And I love how you say not clients. I don't think I've used the word client in years, because it's just an extension of our partnerships, our relationships, and our family. And I know a lot of people that don't know me will listen and go, oh, family, that's just cliche. And that's the way I feel. And I feel PAX8 feels the exact same way. They don't just partner with anybody. And we don't just partner with anybody. So there's a very strong synergy there. All right, Heather, throw them a curveball.
Okay, I gotcha. So my first question is, since you were a teacher in a past life, what have you used from that field specifically to help you with mentoring, coaching, and managing your teams going forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's really important to recognize that everyone learns a little different. So taking a step back, and the way I learn is probably different than the way you learn, Heather, and the way you learn, Jason. And when you have a team of 13, 15 people, they all learn different too. So taking time to recognize that, work with everyone's strengths, and build up any weaknesses that they want to build, I think is probably one of the best things I ever took from it. And that applies to a lot more than being at Pac State.
I
Definitely.
literally couldn't agree with that more. Like I've been a coach in my past life. I won't get into all of that. But if you try to manage
Me
people
too.
the same way, what's that? You coached as well? What did you coach?
JV girls soccer.
I coached basketball my whole life. I ran a club program. I had kids traveling 3-4 hours to my practices. It was called Jumpman. I love it, love it, love it. But I chose my family over that because I was gone so much. And then my kids got into really, really strong. No, I'm about to blow your mind right now. My kids got really into soccer. I ended up coaching my youngest daughter's club team. So I coached high level soccer too. Man, what are we like? Did we just become best friends?
There's a lot of room for activities on this call.
There's so much room for activities. Oh my God, and he knows what I was saying. I love this. That's so cool, man. But what I was going to say is, I learned that at a very young age, as a leader at a very young age. I think I was 23, and I was an IT director, and I had these mentors all over the place. And I was saying, oh, this guy's working great, but this person's not working great, or this girl or this person. And they just said, you can't manage everybody the same. You have to manage every single person individually. And trust me, I've worked for managers that manage that way and some that don't, right? And we all learn differently, or in my case, not learn, either way. But literally, you have to look at I almost feel like if you want to be a director, a manager, a VP, some type of leader, you should have a psychology degree. So my wife went to school to be a psychologist, so I run stuff by her all the time because literally that's a skill we use a lot more than people think, right? Ryan, I don't know what you think. That's what I think.
I fully agree. And difference is what makes the world go round. I love it.
We are the world, right? All right, Heather, what else you got for Ryan?
Okay, so my next question goes into, you were in multiple careers, but you kind of worked your way from the bottom up, it sounds like, with Pac State. How were you able to do that, and what specifically made you successful that other people could model themselves after?
Yeah, I started as a cold caller at Pac State 4 years ago. I've worked at a lot of different companies, and what was really great about Pac State that I was able to embrace is the real open door policy. And, you know, Jason, you've been to our office. When you walk around our office, if our leadership is not on a call, their door is open and you can knock on the door and walk right in there. And if you're having a down day, if you need help with something, if you need to get a deal over the line, whatever it is, we get better when our floor gets better, right? So I really believe that from the top down, from day one, I really felt that open door policy, and it really helped me on my progression past the Pac State.
I love it. Heather's waiting for me to react and yell and stuff like that. It's just, it's so important, man. It's you can't go back 20, 30 years of the way businesses were ran. You just can't. And just so you know, I have the exact same philosophy. I don't care if I'm a janitor or if I'm a CEO. I don't care what it is. Everybody brings value to a conversation. And I was watching this podcast the other day, and it was like, if you were talking to a street sweeper, right? And I'm not trying to diminish anything, right? Everything's important. But if you're talking to a street sweeper and they're sweeping the streets, right? And there's a problem that comes up with street sweeping, and you have the CEO of that company that owns the street sweeping company, the guy that does it or the guy that manages it, who do you want to listen to more? You're going to actually give the street sweeper more weight because they're the ones that are actually doing the job. And I think we fall into this trap where, oh, we got to go to the highest level person, the ranking person. Trust me, if I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room, right? That's been my philosophy since I was a kid, right? Getting into business, sports, doesn't matter what it was. I always wanted to be pushed. I don't want to be the push. I want to be pushed. I don't want to be the pushy, right? I don't want to be the person doing it. So it's really interesting that you bring that up. All right, Heather, what else you got for him? Was that it today?
That was the only question. I will add 2 comments. One to the first one. It's the golden rule, which I think everybody gets wrong, which is there's nothing so unequal as the equal treatment of human beings. So if I could leave anybody with anything, remember that. And that I think your best leaders know their weaknesses and hire people that are better than them in those areas.
Are you just trying for me to talk about you? Is that what you're trying to do right now? Ryan, I think she's trying to tee me up, man. No, Heather, I agree 1,000,000%. Something that I learned young as well is you don't want to constantly work on your weaknesses. You want to enhance your strengths and find people to fill in those weaknesses. If you focus so much on your weaknesses, it diminishes your strengths. And I learned that at a very young age as well. So that is something I have weaknesses, absolutely. And I know exactly what they are. And I look for people like long-winded discussions. That's one of my weaknesses. I don't stop talking, right? I'm doing it right now. It's just one of those things. But I will say, Ryan, thank you so much because we actually got through the video, it looks like. So this is a good thing. 3rd time's a charm. We appreciate you, PAX8, the relationship, everything about it, the family extension. We couldn't be more happy on how it started and how it's progressing. But everybody out there that's watching or listening to this, however you're consuming it, thank you for taking your time. Ryan's an amazing person. Reach out to him on LinkedIn with him. He's a great guy. You can also do that with Heather and I, but go out and do something positive, make a difference in this world. Trust me, it's going to make you feel better. Thank you, everybody. Have a good one.